Hello beautiful people of the world, I hope you are all doing so well. So today is going to be a different kind of video. In light of Mardi Gras coming up soon, I want to be showcasing you this documentary. I hope you really enjoy it. It's something that I'm still very proud of. This was about a year and a half ago, around about, and me and the team worked very hard, very tirelessly for this documentary over a couple of months. This is a documentary about a girl that's in love with another girl and their love both for God. This is a documentary that showcases some of the challenges that the two went through being part of the LGBT community while also being a part of church. We take you through their struggles and their journey, and I'm very proud of this documentary, and it's something that I'm like, this is why I started film, to change people's perspectives and something that they otherwise may never have seen before. I really hope that you enjoy this documentary. This documentary was edited by yours truly, so I really hope that you enjoy it. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.
Happy birthday to Steffi. Happy birthday, dear Steffi. Happy birthday to you.
Looking back, I remember I was really young, and when Dad was like kind of tucking me in for bed, I was like, "Hey Dad, do you reckon that when you go to heaven you can be the opposite sex? Like, could I be a boy when I go to heaven?"
Dad, can you go ahead? That was not on my floor.
Rescue video. Dripping spot. Now Steff. About to come down from the tree. Now, are you safe, little girl?
I kind of was having dreams and thinking that I wanted to actually date the girls in my school. And I recognised that I've been attracted to women my whole life, but I only knew it from looking back through a lens of realising that I had those feelings later in life.
There's a verse in 3 John that says that I have no greater joy than when my children believe.
Isn't that sweet? That's sweet. Yeah, so it's pretty special to see your children grow up to know the Lord, because the Lord's very special to us. So it's great to see the Lord being very special in your kids' life too. So that's pretty close. That's why Gail's having a little tear, you see, because it's all pretty special.
Sit. Sit. Shake. Other one. Good girl. There you go. Hey Mum and Dad, we'll be back soon. See you soon. Bye.
So Steff's my little sister. Me, I've always had, you know, the control in the, you know, growing up. I could always tell her what was cool before she knew. I could tell her what bands to listen to. I could tell her what pajama pants were cool to take to sleepovers, to her standing on her own 2 feet, being her own person. And then as time's gone by, just seeing things that she does, and I'm really impressed by them and really proud by what she does.
When she was in about year 3, I remember she came home and said, "You don't need to worry anymore. I've accepted Jesus," which was very cute.
Hey, sweet. How good is that in year 3?
Driver was like running late, and so he's like called up. He's like, "Oh hi, Dave here. I'm completely lost." Dave, our crazy bus driver.
Yeah, boiling water on those little thingy things.
Little thingy thing.
These things.
I grew up feeling like you couldn't be gay and be Christian. That's something that God doesn't want you to be. And so when I realised that it was something that was going to be with me for the rest of my life, that I couldn't get rid of what I was doing. I feel like previously to that, I was like, all you have to do is just not act on this. All you have to do is just try not to do those actions. But then when I realised, no, this is something that's intrinsic to who you are, you always have these attractions. It's something that you can't change about yourself. Like, this is going to be part of your identity for the rest of your life. Like, I don't know, it was kind of like an oh shit moment, really. Like, what do I do?
There simply is no marriage equality for everyone. Children, for example, are excluded. Couples within prohibited relationships, such as siblings, are excluded. Those who are already married and wish to marry another spouse are also excluded. Yet we are the ones portrayed as being discriminatory.
Being a gay Christian in a church that doesn't really accept who you are, particularly when you are in a relationship and you think, no, there should be more conversation about this. And I actually don't think that what you're saying is right. To, on top of that, see that that's happened to other people and think, guys, like, we need to, like, can people just, like, seriously just wake up and see that we're doing a bad job?
Hi, we're in the Hunter.
Yeah,
cool. There's a fountain right here.
Do something hectic. Do like a dirty dance.
Oh, yeah. Run in and do the dirty dancing. Yeah.
Let's do that. Get out of here.
I met this great girl, and she was, she loved God just like I did. It was just something I think God was like, hey, you've had a bit of a hard time. Here's something that is good. I want to remind you that I love you and I'm with you. And that's how I saw Zan, and meeting her. Our current church where Zan and I were both at, was saying that they didn't want us to be formally within that community anymore, contributing there. They never explicitly said that we need to leave, but I think you kind of feel forced out. You're like, all right, I can come, I can sit, but everything that I do you think is tainted with something that's going to affect this community in a negative way.
Deal with it. Deal with it like an adult. Use your words. And start with I feel. Zoom time.
Like
Zoom, how do you feel?
like the only one who understands.
What it feels like to get my face blown.
Yeah.
My run-in with the old minister was like, he emailed the church, said, look out, like, she's coming. Well, not really, but he was like, there's a girl that's dating another girl from our church that's now coming to yours. But it was that minister that sat me down and said, hey, your old minister told me about that you're dating someone of the same sex.
Oh, hey, girl that I've never spoken to that's just joined our church.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going to corner you and just talk to you about
yeah.
something
Yeah.
completely personal and totally unrelated to me.
Yeah.
So many gay girls that I've met have literally said the words, yeah, gosh, I'd love to be going to church, but it's just that there's no space for me there if I think that I can someday have a relationship. Even if it's just like a vague wish to be in a relationship, that you can't be there. It's like, oh, you know what you have to do. You have to be celibate for life or you have to leave.
Yep.
Like, the hardest thing was seeing Zan question God and question God's love for her and question his grace for her.
The celebration of homosexual acts and the attempt to normalise sexual activity between two men or between two women. Yet despite the statistically small number of committed partnerships within the gay community, let alone their representing merely 1% of all couples in Australia in 2011, it was only a matter of time before the arguments in favour of same-sex marriage would enter the public debate.
Coming up, we speak to the Anglican priest demoted for his views on same-sex marriage.
I cannot, in all conscience, do that, and I can't do that. I can't do that because the Church's teaching on homosexuality over 2,000 years has caused enormous damage, and it still is. And I'm not going to be silent until the Church is accountable, apologises, and changes its ways. So I'm not going to. I will not be silent. I will keep speaking.
We lucked out because we met Keith Mascot at this event, and he was speaking, and he mentioned that he was at Delitchville Anglican, so we knew that there was a minister at an Anglican church in the Sydney diocese that supported gay marriage. And then when we went there, we met Father Dave, who also supports gay marriage and has publicly kind of supported that, and it was like, finally. All of these different types of Christians who are like, this is wrong, this is why it's wrong, and this is what we're going to do about it. It's just like, all right, we're going to be the person that takes the hits from now on. And I think that's what Equal Voices is that they're this organisation. It's like, you don't need to do the battling anymore. You've done enough. We've been we've been really bad. We've really messed up here. We're sorry, and we're going to go out there into battle for you. And it's just like, thank you.
What we're hoping is that the creation of Equal Voices will create a new kind of a new conversation within churches right around the country. When we had the launch of Equal Voices, we needed to have people able to be identified as sort of part of the movement. They're like the tongues of fire in Pentecost, different voices. And that's just really exciting, actually. That's a great blessing, is, getting to know and meet so many beautiful people like you.
Back at you. I think it's a constant struggle to be humble and to absorb all of this stuff from different people that are quite judgmental or perhaps not really listening or understanding what their words are doing and saying. She continues to have conversations. She continues to love. She continues to realise that we're all imperfect beings and that no one's not worthy of being listened to. She will continue to be this light for people who might feel like perhaps God's love is not for them. And I think sometimes the church can do that, can make people feel like perhaps God's love is not for certain types of people, and that's just not the case. And so Steff is this little shining light of saying, I'm gay, I'm in a relationship, I'm a Christian. First and foremost, I'm a Christian, and God's love is for me, and God's love is for you too. It's hard. So I know that she will continue to be that light for people who may have felt hurt by the church or by Christians, and that they will know that that's not God. That's not God speaking. That's imperfect humans speaking, and that God's love is for them. And so I know that she will continue to be that light, and that for people to know that God's love is for everybody.